idea for the play first began as a challenge from an actress friend of mine, and she bemoaned the lack of really good parts for actresses her age. And for a while, it's just sort of like bopped around in my head about, well, if I'm going to write a part for a woman in her 40s, how can I best serve these actresses? And at the same time, I had been reading a lot of articles about climate change. It was at that time when we were first getting the news of the ice melt in Greenland, the Greenland ice sheet. And I realized that I had an opportunity to write a part for a woman that was also really close to home for me about what was important to me. So writing a scientist and her struggle as a scientist struck me as just a really awesome opportunity. That's also connected to what for me was one of the key realizations that I had made when I was doing research for the play, was that I had an opportunity to talk to some actual climate scientists in Boulder, Colorado. And one of the conversations we had was about the difficulty of speaking as a scientist to a political body. It's like two different languages. And so there's the language of the business world, there's the language of the political world, and then there's the language of the scientist. And just as it was difficult for Emma to even get over her resistance to learning Greenlandic, she also has a resistance to learning to speak plainly to people who are not scientists, to figure out how to communicate to them the really important information about her research. To make it clear to them, to make it palpable to them, to make it visceral for them. And so this idea of learning to communicate in a different way, it threads throughout the entire play for me. Part of the challenge is to make sure that it is still a character-driven story, that it isn't just a polemic, that I'm not just having a political rant on stage. Theater's power is really in the deep empathy of the experience. Beyond that, I do think that it was really important for me to make sure that all of the characters were full and rich and human. Life is complicated and messy, but if we do, each of us, make an effort to listen more carefully, to speak more clearly, and then to act more consciously, maybe something positive will get done.